the launch of Office 365 for business, education institutions, and consumers in Nepal. Office 365 is the online version of leading productivity software, Microsoft Office. Before we proceed further, can I request Mr. Dipendra Bajracharya, representative for Microsoft Nepal operations, to please come forward. Announce Office 365 officer announced in Nepal. Today Microsoft is pleased to, for government and business Office 365 will enable organizations to take full advantage of multiple options when deciding where to deploy their productivity technology, whether accessing service from within their own data centers or off-premise through hosting partners or Microsoft Office 365. Organization will see Microsoft delivers its promises of providing cloud services on the customer terms. Enterprise and SMB will now have the flexibility of running their application on the cloud without the need of physical service. This means that they can attain productivity whenever and whichever device they use. With this, I would like to welcome Michelle Simmons, General Manager, Southeast Asia New Markets. In this role, she looks after Microsoft business across 9 countries. That makes up some of Asia Pacific fastest growing markets. So she is not new to us. She is very well versed of this kind of market. Let's invite her to share some words with us. Thank you very much.
And thank you to all of you who are participating today and have come to hear more about Microsoft Office 365. What I wanted to do to start is to provide you with some background on Microsoft as a company. We've certainly gone through quite a bit of change over the last year since our new CEO, Satya Nadella, was named. And in the last year, we've made a number of changes to really align with what we see as our company strategy. So let me go ahead and get started. Our strategy is really aligned with our worldview. And that worldview is that we live in a mobile-first, cloud-first world. What does that mean? It's not just about devices, which you probably all have multiple devices on you even today. But it's also about how we work, where we work. In a very mobile environment, working from home, working from the coffee shop, working from office, working and living as well, using mobility in our personal lives. And from a cloud perspective, it's becoming more real every day. Soon, there will be more than 3 billion people with internet-connected devices. So those devices need to be connected to the cloud in order to provide information available to you and I from any device and from anywhere. The combination of many devices and cloud services is used for generating and consuming data, creates a unique opportunity, and it creates a lot of information for us to both consume and also create. And with that, I believe that Asia Pacific is really at the center of the mobile-first, cloud-first world, where every day we're seeing nations, businesses, individuals really pushing technology boundaries to change how they work, live, learn, and play.
Locally in Nepal. With this, I would like to invite Mr. Byron Radin, General Manager of Microsoft Office Division for the Asia Pacific region. In this role, Byron oversees the Microsoft Office business across the Asia Pacific, which includes from Australia to Nepal. Please invite him to share what Microsoft Cloud Technology is all about. Thank you.
So, it is absolutely great to be here. I think Michelle did a really, really good job talking about some of the priorities in Asia and in the markets, Southeast and new markets. What I'm going to do is talk about some trends that we see from a world perspective, and then also some trends in the workplace, and then talk a bit deeper into Office and Office 365. So, when we think about the world and some trends, the first thing is about data. 90% of the world's data has been created in the last 2 years. the amount of data is expected to multiply by 35 times over the next 5 years. And so we need to make sure that we have the right software to mine that data and to drive productivity. The second is around devices. There is now there's more devices than people, and you heard from Michelle, I think, devices that she referenced that people are using from a business place perspective. And then third, it's this concept of the power of the network. And so, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever job that you had, you kind of kept the information yourself, then you would share it with your manager. But today, when we look at kind of the graduates and people at our school, they've grown up with social networks and they share across people. And so that power of the network is going to become more and more important in the workplace. So the world definitely is changing. And what's happening is the world is changing and the workplace is changing. So from a workplace perspective, and I'll figure out which way these slides go in just a second. I think I've got it now. There's really three things that I want to talk about. One is around collaboration. The second area is around personalized insight. And the third is around compliance. So let's start with collaboration. So people are really changing where they work and how they collaborate. In the US, and I know we're in Nepal, but I'm going to bring it back to Nepal in a second, there was a survey that showed that at any given time, 60% of offices are vacant. So people aren't working just sitting in the office. And in Nepal, I would say, what happens a lot, as I understand, is people work from one area in the morning and they may go somewhere else in the afternoon, given where power is. And so it's no longer a traditional go in the office and just work 8 hours and then go home. The second is customers are requiring and demanding that their employers and employees can access documents wherever they are, on whatever device. And we have tools like Yammer, like OneDrive, and features like co-authoring, which we'll talk about in a bit, that really drive that kind of enabling crowdsourcing to happen in real time. And third, it's around meetings. And so what we're seeing is meetings is really changing from really sitting in a conference room to really unified communication. And we have around 7 million users in the Asia Pacific area in Link, which we've just now launched Skype for Business. And we're seeing that really rapidly increase as people and employees realize the great features in Skype for Business. The second area in the modern workplace that's changing quite a bit is around this personalized insight. So at the platform level, it's products that we provide like Azure that really drive kind of machine learning techniques. And for the end user for Office, and we'll talk about a little bit, when you save documents to the cloud, what happens is if you want, your coworkers can go and see what you're working on, realize some documents that may be helpful for them and help them be more productive. And so then the third area to talk about is this area around compliance. And at Microsoft, we actually feel really good from an industry leader perspective when it comes to compliance in the cloud. When I talk about compliance, I usually think about it in three different ways. One is around security, really embedding security in everything, in every kind of thing that the employee or the consumer does, leveraging our software. Second, it's really around people-centric compliance. An example of this is what we call DLP, data loss prevention. And so we have the technology and we're enabling companies to where if employees send an email with a social security number, with a credit card, outside of the firewall, it doesn't allow them to do it. So it stops making sure that the companies are protecting people's data. Very, very important. And the third area is really around privacy. And here, we don't mine people's data and try to figure out how to do ads. And a matter of fact, driving Office for Asia Pacific, there's been times where I would like some customer data.
You might be wondering, how do we launch something that is online, but we have to show you something offline? So can I request our chief guest for the day, Honorable Minister of Information and Communication, along with the gentleman on stage and the lady, to please unveil the banner.
It's really a great pleasure to be part of Microsoft 365 launching program. When we talk about a product being launched, I guess one of the important things that we keep in mind is it's not just market, but trying to find a way so that the ones who are responsible for developing a product gets paid for the innovation they do, and at the same time the company that brings in marvelous minds together gets profit out of it, and the process of innovation moves forward. I guess in today's world, when we talk about computer, for most of us, probably 90-95% of us, we do look at it from the user perspective. There are probably 5% of those who work day in and out to make sure that the product that's available in the market, product that's taken for granted, works perfectly, and every day they do improvise, improve upon, and at times come up with some very revolutionary ideas so that the market gets expanded. New uses are found for the product. And I believe one of the things they're trying to do when they launch the product, Microsoft 365 here, they're probably hoping that Nepal will also be a part of greater effort throughout the world to move in that direction, and so that Microsoft can make profit out of it, and at the same time take the computer revolution to still a higher level. I was just kind of thinking, how an individual's life changes with the change in the technology. I started using computer back in 1986. 5¼ drive with hardly 128 kilobytes of drive, hardly any hard drive to support that for at the most 10 megabyte hard drive, not even 10 megabyte hard drive. Some of them were even without any hard drive at all were there. And from there, I'll just share my experience. Moved on to using more of it. Started out with PC, but since I was doing modeling, mathematical modeling, intensive computer programming, I had to go right away to IBM mainframe, fax machines, then to supercomputers. And as time went by, as the technology moved on, then came back from supercomputer to Sun workstation. Sun workstations were one of the best graphics one could get. That probably was the time when people had started first beat of internet, I believe, social culture website, not website in the sense that exists today, social culture blog, not in the sense of the blog that exists today, and first emails probably. From there to where we are today. I was just reading one article about a month back. One of the simplest of the smart mobile that's available today handles as much data as was handled when first man was sent to the moon by NASA. That's quite telling because throughout my experience with computers, I always thought people buy extra speedier drives, extra spaces for absolutely no reason, softwares that's simply unnecessary for many. I can just challenge almost anyone who uses Microsoft that they have software that they have never used, and even the ones that they use so often has features that never even imagined that exist there. going into new markets.
One, I know we'll be a little shy on this this kind of audience. So if there is any questions, they're available here. We can have one-on-one session with them. With that, I'd like to close off this session. Thank you very much.
Low connection of low internet connection. So how you see the potential of the cloud service in Nepal?
I think actually Office 365 is fantastic in an area just like Nepal with low internet connection and with even power outages. And again, it was talking about our philosophy, which is we know everybody's not going to have access to internet every single minute of the day. So we designed a software to where if I'm working on a document, and let's say I'm sharing the document in the cloud, and my internet connection is really slow, I just save it onto my local computer and I continue to work because the Office bits are on your machine and they're in the cloud. So they're both. And so that's really, really important differentiating factor for Microsoft versus our competitors, where we're really thinking about this hybrid.
Stay nimble and stay in touch. See your team's calendars, know when they're online, send out PowerPoint, Outlook, and the rest of the work of expert support and a 99.9% uptime guarantee. And what you get is 365 24/7 possibilities.
Good evening. Namaste. YC. Miss Maisha Simon, General Manager, Southeast Asia New Markets, Microsoft Asia Pacific, Microsoft Corporation Private Limited, Mr. Biron Reda, Senior Director, Asia Pacific Microsoft Operation, and the distinguished at the desk, IT, all friends and industrialists. I would like to welcome to all international guests again, and I wish you will have a large mistake in Nepal. I am happy to be invited to speak at the Microsoft official Office 365 launch in Nepal. This is inaugurated by our Honorable Minister. Today I think we all get from the international delegates that what is 365 and what's about it, what are the benefits, what will be the
easy to speak from information. Misha, Bhairo, Dipendra, and all friends, namaste. First of all, congratulations to Microsoft for launching Office 365 in Nepal. I'm not here to talk much about what can Office 365 do, because we have heard a lot from the Microsoft themselves. So today, what I'm going to share is, as we are one of the users of Office 365, I would like to share how we see Office 365 as a utility style. So this is our experience with Office 365. So most of you I know, so if you don't know me, my name is there. Just the backward. Okay, so what is it? Sorry. I wanted not to be much serious and wander around, but the mic is not letting me do that. So bear with me. So Microsoft Office 365 is a cloud-based service that has helped meet our organization's need for robust security, which Byron also mentioned. Reliability is there, and user productivity. So to me, if it's not a full-scale IaaS, SSAS, EAS, but the combination of all, is infrastructure as a service, software as a service, productivity as a service, all there. for certain services of Microsoft. That is how we see. And if you see the diagrams there, it provides, there are lots of versions, but we talk about enterprise version. The Word is there, Excel is there, PowerPoint is there, Outlook email system is there, Access is there, OneNote is there, Publisher, Link, and InfoPath. We use all. Not all of us use all, but depending, some use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, almost all of us use. But others, it depends who uses what, and also Link, most of us use Link. So we'll talk a little bit about Link later on, like how we use it in our organization. And when we said all those applications, those are the applications that you can install in your device. Because I think you all heard that with this Office 365, you can install in 5 devices. A PC, a desktop, at home, at office, at remote site. So if you have a license, you can use 5 devices. And also you can use in your mobiles and smartphones and tablets. So according to the information I've got, I can use this system for myself in 5 desktop PCs and 5 mobile devices. So it doesn't matter whether you have iPhone or Android or tablet or anything. You can install in any device. So I'm like Binendra as well as Android. So I carry both. Sometimes, when you deal with the users, then you have to know all the systems. Yes. So this is what you install in your PC or desktop. But if you're traveling, going somewhere, and you don't have a laptop, but you want to use those systems, Office Web Apps is available there. You can all these systems from the web also. So that is the facility of this, beauty of the system. And in UNDP, we have got this federated authentication system. So even if you say www.hotmail.com or whatever, then it will direct us to this platform, to the UNDP login page. And generally we say cloud.undp.org. Cloud, we gave this name by UNDP as a domain, and the domain is undp.org. So once we log in here, then from here we can install what just said, like OneDrive for Business, or if you want to, I want to use this laptop, but if Office application is not here, I can log in from here and I can install it in this, provided that I have not exceeded 5 installations. So this also keeps the inventory. It will say you have installed in your desktop, in your PC, in your laptop, and it will have all the inventory there. Also, it will keep the record of your mobile smart devices also. So just as we see the features and benefits, so this is more like renting a software instead of buying. We pay some monthly fee. We don't buy the software itself initially, and we do only monthly, or we can do the annual subscription. So unlike your Office 2013, or some may be using Office 2007, 2010, or 13 or 16 may be coming, which you have to buy. And those software you can install only in one desktop or PC. But as we said, this can be installed in 5. This is a cloud-based subscription. And it has a strong online focus with subscription, which includes 1 TB of storage for OneDrive for Business. And recently, I heard that the space is unlimited. Is it true?
It's moving to unlimited, and we're rolling that out country by country. So
but at least
it's coming.
At least you have a space of 1 TB. For email, we have 50 GB space. Earlier, we had a very limited state that we had to ask our staff to delete your emails, duplicate emails, clean your trash. Now we have 50 GB in email, no worries. Everything can be there in your inbox. And for OneDrive for Business, storage is 1 TB. So it means that you don't have to have your shared drive, your what you call file server shared drives. or you don't have to carry your external hard disks or file or your pen drives. You can keep everything there and it moves with you wherever you go, it follows you. Provided that you are internet. And that is the basics or backbone of today's technology. So then when you have your access to your file and email, you can go from anywhere, anytime, and from any device. And another thing already has been mentioned that you always get the latest version because there are so many colleagues who have Office 2007 and they don't have budget to buy Office 2013. And sometimes now recently they said that the Office XP updates has been stopped as of recently, not just March or something like that. And Windows Server 2003 is also expired. But with Office 365, we don't have that problem. It's always updated. If Office 2013 is there, you are using Office 2013. If it's Office 2016, then you are using 2016. So OneDrive for Business just mentioned, but I like this very much, so I just put this slide here. So it's a place where you store, sync, and share our work. It's not only store, we can also share, and we can sync it with our laptop so that we can offline and we can work from multiple devices. So it's there. I will go into much detail on this slide. It's just how you move your files, so you can move your files, drag, drop, see, things like that. Another very interesting and mostly used product is the Wing. I think we have all used Viber and Skype and other means of conferencing systems. But Wing is a package of this Office suite, and it also comes with Office 365. And we use it for chatting, for video conferencing, for recording your meetings, for messaging, for scheduling the calendar of the meetings, and for voice calls. So you can use this for all these systems. So it says that basically you see when people are available or not. If you all are connected to link, then you can know whether you can call that person or not, whether you can see that person or not. Because the busy and online and all status is shown there. So you can send messages anytime, and you can also do conferencing with third-party systems. Skype is already owned by Microsoft, but you can also do with other partners, with me. You can set up meetings, and you can share your desktop and programs. You do a presentation with a lot of people, then you can just share a presentation through link. So everything is there. So then, if it's for a 2 hours meeting and someone is in Etora or Garden Lab, they don't have to come. Just use link, and they are already in your meeting room with you. You don't have to have very sophisticated equipment like Polycom, Tandberg, or Cisco to do a very powerful video call. Yes, you can use those very, very special meetings. For general purpose, you are in your office, you are in your seat, and you are connected.
We used to, if you remember, we used to do Partner Award every year, but this time I think it's a little late, but we couldn't have the right people in town in the whole of the year, but this is the right time and right stage that we thought that we should award and recognize our partners for what they've done for about 40, this is last year award, for whatever contribution they've done for Nepal. So, so for that, I'd like to start with this certification partner first, and then Microsoft Innovation Center, who does evangelism for us.
The best public sector partner. Best public sector partner. Would you announce the winner?
To give away best public sector partner award goes to Max International. Can we invite Ms. Dace? Is there anyone from Max International? Anybody? Thank you very much for Max International for doing such a large
Category Best Partner Microsoft Dynamics.
Which Dynamics stands for Microsoft ERP system. We have very few Dynamics partners in Nepal, and we would like to thank them for whatever they are investing in Nepal as a dynamic house in Nepal, which goes to Who could be that?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's do a better job here. I'll stand here. There you go.